Hi, my name is Jeff Williams, and I'm the Director of Product Management for Xenos Group, an Actuate company. Today I want to talk to you about Xenos Axess, our new PDF accessibility solution. I'll walk you through what is PDF accessibility, along with what is Xenos Axess, follow it up with a demo of Xenos Axess. So what is PDF accessibility? When people talk about accessible PDF documents, they usually mean tagged PDF files, even though there's more to an accessible PDF than tags. PDF tags provide a structured, textual representation of the PDF content that's presented to screen readers. They exist for accessibility purposes only and have no visible effect on the PDF file. Now that you've been introduced to PDF accessibility, I'd like to explain what is Xenos Axess. Xenos Axess is a solution that converts high-volume content in the form of print streams into tagged and accessible PDF documents. These print streams are proprietary printer definition languages that define how a document is to be printed on high-volume printers used for HVTO or high-volume transactional output, such as banking and credit card statements, telecommunication and utility bills, and insurance policies and explanation of benefits. These print stream formats differ from printer to printer and vendor to vendor. IBM has AFP. Xerox primarily has Metacode or DJDE, and HP has PCL. And although not a print definition language, there's also PDF or Portable Document Format, originally created by Adobe that, while technically is a presentation format, is also supported natively by many printers. Xenos has been providing solutions to transform or convert print stream formats into other electronic formats for print or online presentment for over 20 years. To make a PDF document accessible so that it can be read and understood by screen readers, you must address 5 major areas. Number 1, reading order. Many documents or statements are generally not read in a typical left to right order. Information such as account numbers, overdue notices, and charts can interfere with the reader's ability to clearly state the contents in an appropriate order that is useful to the reader. Think about your credit card statement. You may want to know first if your account is overdue, then how much you owe, and finally, when the payment is due. Number 2, language definition. Every PDF document must have a language tag defined. This definition covers the entire document. Within the document, however, you may define additional languages for words or sections that are not in the language of the overall document. This allows the screen reader technology to read the content in the appropriate language. Number 3, alternate text. Links, logos, and graphics make it challenging for standard readers to interpret. In some cases, they will read lengthy details on links, narrating them character by character. A PDF document should be tagged to provide alternate text that is useful to the reader. And number 4, tables. Tables can present major challenges for readers since they don't understand how to read and interpret rows and columns. The right tags will notify readers of the fact that information is presented in rows and columns so that the table can be read and navigated properly. The first 4 items in making an accessible PDF document are addressed through software. The 5th item is usability. Visually impaired users will view and use documents differently. Certain guidelines for usability have to do with font size, text on images, and color contrasts. While usability is not generally addressed by the technology used within the Xenos Axess solution, Xenos is partnering with various visual impairment advocacy groups such as the AFB, the American Foundation for the Blind, the CNIB, the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, and the RNIB, the Royal National Institute for the Blind in the UK, as well as others. Through these partnerships, consulting is available to help design your documents in a way that makes them usable for the visually impaired. Additionally, through these organizations and groups, document accessibility services can be provided to create documents in large print, braille, or audio formats, or to manually add tags to PDF files to make them accessible. This last option is good for small volumes of documents. The software behind the Xenos Axess PDF accessibility solution is Xenos Enterprise Server. Xenos Enterprise Server is used to process, extract, transform, repurpose, and personalize high volumes of data and documents for storage, real-time access, e-presentment, printing, and delivery in numerous formats across multiple channels. And now, it's also the first software to provide a high-performance and high-volume solution to transform print stream documents on demand into tagged, accessible PDF documents for the visually impaired to use with screen reader technology. And now, I'd like to show you a demonstration of Xenos Enterprise Server and the Xenos Axess solution. Welcome to Xenos Developer Studio. Xenos Developer Studio allows you to create projects and configure Xenos Enterprise Server. In this window, I have a project flow that includes an AFP parser, Xenos Field Technology, the page markup component, and the accessible PDF generator. The AFP parser is responsible for taking AFP documents, parsing them into the Xenos intermediary format for consumption by the components left in the project flow. Through the AFP parser wizard, you can configure easily all of the parameters and properties that are required to help the parser understand the AFP document. The next component is the Xenos Field Technology. The Xenos Field Technology is responsible for identifying and extracting text and objects off of the page. This is truly the power behind Xenos Enterprise Server PDF accessibility. In Xenos Field Technology, there's the notion of locators which allow for certain pieces of text to be identified. In this case, the heading post locator is looking for the word previous. These locators are used in defining fields. Within each document, you can have multiple sections. For example, this is the heading section. The heading section contains multiple fields: account number, prepared for, the Best Bank logo, and a balance information table. If I open up the prepared for, I'll see that we have dynamic positioning. Click on the positioning tab and you'll notice that we're using the heading position locator. This allows the field to move up and down depending on the text. If we look at the balance info table, you'll notice we have several columns: previous balance, payments and credits, purchases, and so on. Now, how are we defining a row in this table? To do that, you need to use row breakers. There's several row breakers included in the product. There's the simple row breaker, which allows you to set a constant height for each row. The graphic row breaker, which allows you to distinguish rows based on a line or other graphic in between the rows. The white space row breaker, which allows you to determine the rows based on white space in between those rows. And the custom row breaker, which allows you to write your own row breaker using our Java APIs to suit your own business needs. You'll notice on the body that we have several fields and tables defined as well. On page 2, we have the backer. The backer consists of the terms and conditions as well as this header. The terms and conditions will be extracted in blocks. For example, Terms and Conditions 1 will extract the text under 1. Terms and Conditions 2 extracts number 2, and so on. This allows us to extract each individual block so that we can read it appropriately by the screen reader. Now let's go to page 3. You'll notice we have a continuation of the charges table. We also have an offer and a graphic. Let's take a look at the offer. The offer is made up of two parts. You have text that occurs on the page, and you have the graphic itself, which also contains text, but can't be read by screen readers. If we look at the body, you'll notice that we found the charges detail, we found a spending trend list, that's the label right there. We have the spending trend graph, we have the charges table, which has found multiple rows, and we have the spending trend table.